Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of your show Achievements. I'm your host Abdulatif Lanazi and I will be taking you through this episode, so stay tuned after this report.
Art can be divided into many categories. Some define art as the expression of human creative skills and imagination, which is typically presented in a visual and sound form, such as painting, sculpture, acting, singing, music, and producing works, to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Moreover, in art, there are types that define as major arts and others as minor art. The three major types of art are painting, sculpture, and architecture. Hence, minor arts are referring to commercial or decorative style art. In our lives today, art has a great impact on each one of us, and we usually practice it every day without noticing. Art is very important because it can communicate information, shape our everyday lives, make a social statement, and be enjoyed for aesthetic beauty. Another major type of art is music. Music is a vocal or instrumental sound combined in such way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Music holds a very important role in our lives. It has the ability to deeply affect mental states and raise our mood. When we need it, it gives us energy and motivation. When we are worried, it can soothe us and encourage us. In other cases, when we are feeling defeated, it can surely re-inspire us. Music is also very powerful and beneficial to the society. It is strong enough to let us connect and influences us in a way that makes us feel fundamentally different from other forms of communication. Many of us might feel that no one understands the feeling a person is going through, except music, because it has the ability to connect with oneself. Moreover, after being able to connect with music, a human can express themselves and find a sense of understanding among peers. Art does not only stop there, it includes many more types. Another major type of art is painting. Painting is the action or skill of using painting, either in a picture or as a decoration. The purpose of painting can be used to communicate ideas and thoughts. It can be used as a tool for self-expression, as a form of therapy, or even as a means to find beauty in life. The art of painting also captures a moment in time, historical events, social ideas, and concepts including political or social commentary. Other than painting can be used as a form of therapy, it has many benefits to the human being. For instance, painting develops our creativity and supports emotional well-being. It also builds our problem-solving skills and improves our memory and concentration. Moreover, painting can develop communication skills and relieve stress while also allow us to practice mindfulness through painting.
was wonderful. That was wonderful. Welcome back, our viewers. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting a remarkable violinist who has captivated audience with her extraordinary talent. Join us welcoming Nancy Safadi. Thank you, Nancy, for being here and to share your professional violinist
Thank you
journey.
for having me, really. It's a pleasure for me.
You're welcome. Nancy, can you tell us about, from the start, how did you pursue your passion and how did you find it as a professional violinist?
Well, this spark started when I was 7 years old. I was in love with the sound of violin, and ever since then it kept haunting me, and I realized that this is what I really want to do in my life. So I decided that I'm going to start learning it, and up until now, I became a violinist, so it's my dream coming true.
It was your dream from the beginning, and until now you've become with it, and you've never regretted it?
Never, ever in my life. I can't live without violin, honestly. And this is something since I was a child, not something new.
But of course, you've tried other instruments.
Yeah, I was a pianist first. I started learning piano at the age of 7. But then I realized that piano is not really for me. I didn't really feel it much. I always felt drawn and connected to the violin, and because violin, whenever you hear violin, it strikes your heart immediately. So this is what it did to me, and I thought, okay, if I can feel so much for violin, it means I can even express so much on it while playing it. So yeah, that's what I did.
I think the violin is one of the most connected instruments to the heart and the emotions. I mean, whenever you want to hear something that makes you happy, when you want to hear something that makes you relax, nothing closer to the violin. I mean, of course, you can find it on the qanun, you can find it on the piano, guitar, but the violin is actually the closest to your emotions. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's because the violin is, for example, you mentioned guitar, you mentioned piano. For piano, for guitar, the notes are they are determined. For guitar, there are frets, so every note is divided on the guitar. For piano, every key is there, but on violin, it's just a string. And you can play any single note.
You can be creative as possible as you want.
Exactly. So it has a wider range of creativity because the string is fretless, and you can experiment so much with a variety of notes.
Can you share one of your memorable performances? And can you tell us after you share it, why is it so close to your heart?
Yeah, I have to say, when I performed in the Europe Day last year, I was selected by the Greek ambassador to represent Greece in this huge ceremony, and I performed Greek pieces, classical and some modern songs also. So that was really a huge event in Kuwait, and I felt so lucky to be chosen by the Greek ambassador and to really do my best. I kept preparing for this concert for almost 3 months.
It must be feeling good when you hear the message that they want you for such an event. I mean, the feeling has to be remarkable.
Exactly, especially that I'm not even from Greece. I'm Syrian, but the Greek ambassador, he saw something and he liked it. He liked what I do on the violin, and he said, okay, I want you to represent Greece. So for me, it's such an honor, really. Yeah.
It has to be, and we are so proud of you also.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about which techniques and skills that you continuously strive to improve these skills as a violinist?
So as a violinist or a musician in general, what matters to us the most is the mental and physical connection to the instrument. So when we are playing our instruments, we are giving efforts both physically and mentally. And it's a matter of always realizing how to connect your mind with your body, with the instrument. So the instrument has to be part of your body. So it takes a lot of effort actually to train yourself every single day in learning new techniques, learning new scales, learning whatever. So you really have to, yeah, every day you have to practice. So you're really exercising your mind and your body at the same time. So this is a skill that you have to learn every day for the rest of your life. It doesn't end, basically.
Do you enjoy with it since you are learning it every day?
Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, it's like going to the gym, for example. You go to the gym, you
I
start
don't go to
doing-
the gym every day, like 5 days, 6 days a week.
Yeah, well, I'm also human. I'm not gonna say that I practice every day. I do have some slips here and there. I try my best.
Sometimes you give a rest.
Sometimes if I need a rest, then rest is, you know, important. But other than that, it's like anything in life. Music is like you going to the gym, you, for example, painting. You have to really exercise, you have to learn, you have to pay close attention to specific details. If you play in wrong techniques, for example, you can injure your body, you can injure your neck,
Exactly.
your shoulder. So it really matters to learn how to preserve your body in a good mental and physical condition while playing the instrument.
So do you give teaching lessons to other violinists?
Yes, of course. I teach kids, I teach teenagers, adults, all ages.
Since when?
I started teaching, let's say, 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, this is when I really started teaching.
So
And
what do you
until now.
prefer, teaching or performing?
Honestly, I can't choose one because each experience gives me a new perspective in music. When I perform, it's about feeling first proud about myself, like, okay, I did it, I practiced so much to reach this level, and I'm enjoying people's attention and how people are feeling, and they come to me, they tell me, oh, we felt so emotional, we felt so happy, we felt this, we felt that. So it really makes me happy to see that and to receive that. In teaching, however, it's different because I am raising a student from scratch in how to play violin.
They will never forget you, by the way.
Yes, and I try to make it as fun as possible and as smooth as possible because it's really not an easy instrument.
There are something that everyone needs to know is the first teacher or the first coach at every sport, at every subject in school, I think that they are one of the most memorable coaches or teachers. Because if I have a second or third coach or teacher or someone who can train me on anything, the second or the third thing that I might forget them. But the first one is actually, here is the spot point, where is the most effect that answers the question, what if I'm going to continue or not?
Exactly.
So you at the first coach as a violence teacher, I think it's one of the most wonderful things that you have this remarkable connection between you and your students, especially the youngest one.
Yes.
Do you feel that with them?
I really feel that. Even the kids, when I teach kids, I always try to make violin fun. I add colors, I add stickers, I add whatever. I try to teach them not only on the instrument itself, but also through games, through exciting games and activities. So they end up really connecting with me, not on a teacher level only, but on a human level, that they can really connect with me. And you know, kids are very pure. So when they love someone, they show you immediately. If they don't
Show
love
you everything.
yeah, they show you everything. So thank God, up until now, my experience has been really good with kids.
Thank God, which
Yes.
is something really wonderful.
Yes.
And of course, you have to feel good whenever you become more a teacher. The closer to these students, it will give you this extraordinary feeling that I felt it, because once I've been teaching other kids for ice skating, and I will never forget them, neither do they, because they always contacted me every once in a while about how did they turn out, because the last time I taught them, it was like 2017, from 2015 to 2017, 2 years, 10 students, and it was something really remarkable that they still talk to me, because at the time they were like 14 years old, now they are 20, almost 20 years, and 20 to 18 years old, and it is really something feeling good.
Well,
So this is-
I can understand you. Beginnings matter, especially when
Yeah.
someone is learning something new. Those first moments, it's like first impressions. First impressions matter. So
Of course.
this comes from this philosophy, I think.
So what goes on your mind before every time you almost take a step on the stage? What do you think about before you go on stage about to perform for something huge, like the Greek occasion?
Yeah. So, for example, it matters to be very much in tune with yourself internally, because the stress of being in front of thousands of people can be really overwhelming. So what I do personally, I take slow breath and I try to clear my mind. The rush of adrenaline is too much sometimes. It's a good thing, but sometimes it causes you to shake or to sweat.
Become a little bit nervous.
Yeah, so what you can do easily is just to take slow breaths and convince yourself that I'm in my zone. I'm here to let people enjoy my performance. There's nothing to...
This is how you prepare yourself for that?
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any other techniques? Because sometimes whenever I want to do something to a bunch of people, like small group, maybe family group,
Yeah.
I become a little bit nervous of doing something. And also there are other musicians who are watching you right now. They wanted to know if there's any special techniques that you can give them before, how to prepare themselves before any time they want to go to the stage.
Okay, so I would suggest, for example, 30 minutes before they go on stage, they do some stretching to the neck and to the shoulders. I'm speaking as a violinist. This matters a lot to make the blood flow in your body, because what we're talking about here is purely physical needs. So what you need as a human is to be relaxed so that your hormones don't mess you up with stress and whatever. So you really need to take care of your body with stretching, with breath work, and try to talk to yourself mentally, try to calm yourself down. If you feel any little bit of an anxiety, it's okay, we're humans. Don't put the idea of being a perfectionist in your mind, because it will only make you more stressed. Just enjoy it, basically.
Thank you for this wonderful advice.
Thank you.
I mean, I think that everyone could get used of it. Of course, not all of the techniques, especially the neck stretching.
Yeah, for violinists.
Yeah, this is only for the violence.
Yes.
So how does charitable music and intersect with your journey?
How music affects my life?
How music, yeah, on your life, and also even poetry.
Yeah, so as an artist, I live with emotions all the time. This is what I do. I learn how to express emotions through violin. So I have to really live every day, not only learning techniques, but also how to feel those emotions and translate them to violin. So what this makes me in my life is someone who is sensitive, who is emotional, and who really can feel anything. You know, whenever I'm dealing with people, I can feel immediately the air in the room, you know, as they say. So this makes me like in a hypersensitive mode most of the time.
Is there any musicians or other people who are violinists that influenced you on your journey to become better violinists as right now?
Yeah, of course. Well, my teachers that I learned with them, but if I want to talk about my role model, it is a female violinist. Her name is Rosanda Panfili, and for me, she's really amazing. I even saw similarities in our personalities. Yeah, she's an international violinist. Okay, I don't know her personally, but for me, whenever I watch her videos, I get super inspired.
You have to be, because everyone who has their special sports or special hobby, or there's something that on their career, they have someone on that field that they look up to and influence them.
We need that.
We need that, and everyone has it, by the way.
Of course.
In soccer, you can find people. In American football, you can also find people who inspire other people.
Yes, true.
In violence, on piano, on everything. So this is actually what's the remarkable thing, that we have these people keeping us going through every day on our journey. Whenever you see them, see other videos of them, you get excited to go and play more violin.
Because
right?
because it's not always easy. You know, it's not always, oh, I'm motivated and
it's never been that easy.
It's not easy. Sometimes, you know, for me, the number one person that I should be inspired by is myself in the future. I should always look forward that when I reach that, this is the goal. So I inspire myself about myself. But this is also something different. What we need as humans is someone who is a role model that we look up to. We can see their achievements live on YouTube, on TV. We can see it live. So it really reaches us fast then.
This is a wonderful thing to say.
Thank
and of course, Nancy, we have more and more questions, but ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because we will be back after this report.
Nancy Safdie is a professional violinist in a Western classical music performing. She has participated in a variety of public and private events and concerts. Nancy is a passionate violinist and strives to be the best at it. She is specialized in Western classical music and loves to learn new techniques and skills. Nancy also worked as a mentor for teaching violin lessons for beginners and intermediates. She enjoys teaching the violin and sharing her experiences with the students in order to be unique performers. Nancy has also performed in several theaters as a soloist and aims for more performances. Nancy has also managed to play her violin in special occasions and VIP occasions for embassies and ambassadors. Because Nancy is passionate and unique in her own style of playing the violin, she has been selected by many to perform and represent several countries. She was selected by the Greek ambassador in order to represent Greece in the European National Day in the year of 2022. During her performance, Nancy focused on playing Greek pieces to the audience on the special occasion. Nancy has also played her violin live in different graduation ceremonies around Kuwait. In addition, Nancy joined many different occasions aside from ceremonies. One of the occasions that Nancy has participated in is performing in public shows and charitable causes. Nancy has also managed to be recognized by many ambassadors of Kuwait. She has been given a certificate of appreciation from the wife of the Italian ambassador of Kuwait for her special performance in the International Women Group Convention. Along with ceremonies and occasions that Nancy has participated in, she also joined poetic conventions by performing with her violin with poets. She has also worked with several brands because of her unique techniques of playing the violin. Certainly, Nancy is gifted with her special and unique way of playing the violin. She is assuredly one of a kind and special in her own way. She aims to perform in many upcoming events as she focuses on achieving her dreams and goals. Keep it up, Nancy, and we are happy to listen more of your special pieces.
That was really wonderful, and welcome back our viewers as we continue our interview with our lovely guest Nancy Safdie. So Nancy, of course, first I have to thank you about this remarkable performance that you just gave us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. So Nancy, can you tell us how does music takes a role in your life?
So other than being a professional violinist, you mean?
Yeah, on your life. How does music take a role?
Well,
does it take like a big role on your life?
Music is all my life. I can't imagine myself without music. Music for me is therapeutic. It's not only for being a professional and working, and no, it's not only that, but it's also a method to silence sometimes my thoughts, to be more in peace with myself internally, emotionally. Sometimes it's for meditation. Sometimes it's for just enjoying the mix of sounds and really focusing in how music is so like a sea, you know, like big ocean. It's endless. So sometimes it's really just thinking about how amazing music is and living with it, living through the sounds. So I would have to say that all my life is just about music.
We've seen this report that you were performing on a kind of wedding, right?
Yeah,
it was a private event.
It was a private event, it was a wedding, and I recorded this video. It's a romantic Iranian song, so I chose it because, you know, it's a wedding and it should be romantic. So yeah, that was my idea.
That was actually wonderful.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about the challenge that you have on your journey as a violinist?
Yeah, well, the challenge is to always be prepared, because if I don't practice, for example, let's say for 1 month, then I immediately see my physical power is going lower. So I always have to take care of myself physically and mentally, and I have to always practice. So this is challenging, it's not easy, you have to be disciplined all the time.
The commitment, I think it's one of the most important thing as a violinist that you need, right?
Yeah, it's commitment, because you can't rely on motivation. Motivation comes for like 1 day, and then for like 6 months you don't have motivation. What do? You do nothing? No, then it's not possible. You have to really work hard. So this is by itself is challenging enough. Yeah.
So what do you hope to achieve on the future as a violinist? Of course, there are many milestones that you have on your journey, on the future. And how do you count them, and how do you calculate what you achieved and what you will achieve on the future?
Well, I calculated by what is my power on violin right now, and how can I increase it step by step, because no one can go from level 1 to level 10. No, you have to go through level 2, level 3. You have to take it gradually. So sometimes maybe I become strict on myself, then I remind myself, okay, Nancy, you are a human. You take this gradually. You didn't have a day of good practice, maybe you'll have it tomorrow. So it's good to not be over strict with myself, but to be strict in a moderate way, and putting goals, not too big and far goals, just putting realistic goals. Okay, what am I gonna do the next month, and after 6 months, and after 1 year? So it's good to always keep it, divided.
And after a couple of years, you will see that you achieved a lot of steps.
You achieved
which
a
makes
lot.
you
Yes.
achieved a lot.
So when you are in level 5, don't look at level 20. Look at level 7, 8, 9, because if you look at level 20, you will just make yourself in this anxiety mode, like, oh my God, how can I reach this? And then you start procrastinating and not doing anything. So for me now, what I want to do by next year is to have 2 concerts. 1 concert for myself with other musicians, and hopefully it's going to be a big concert. The second concert is organized by an academy, a music academy, and I will be joining French musicians, and I will be performing with them.
Of course, you're talking about the next year, which is 2024, right?
Yeah, 2024.
Or the late 2023?
Late and the beginning of 2024. Yeah.
But of course, since you have this journey, that makes it one remarkable thing. But there's something I would love to know about, which you told us before that you have almost to practice every day. So how do you keep the balance between your professional commitments and your personal life? And can you tell us also about the strategy that you are using to keep all this in balanced life?
Okay, well, one thing for sure is that I can't keep the balance all the time. Sometimes I slip, sometimes it's always work. I'm working from the morning till the evening, practicing, then concerts or events. So I try to give myself a few hours of just enjoying my time alone, whether I'm watching something or whether I'm just relaxing with friends or whatever. I try to always give myself a few hours of, okay, breathe now, enjoy your time. You're a human, not only a musician. I respect that very much, because even if I'm a musician, but I have needs as a human. If I continue working all the time, I will just collapse. So I know this because I've tried it already. I collapsed before.
But you got through it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, unfortunately, after that, they will quit whatever they were trying to achieve, because they collapse and they feel, okay, it's useless, they don't want to do it anymore. But of course, since you have the commitment, since you have this dream that you had before, being a violinist, and now you achieved it, and you are big now, mashallah, which all the thanks for you for the hard work that you are doing. So can you tell us about the rituals that you do and anything that you do before you do any types of performances? Is there something that keep you focused?
Yes, I make sure that I practice technique on the violin to make sure that my fingers are really good in playing.
How do you make sure that your fingers really good?
You know, because violin is
Try
so
to
tricky.
click it, maybe.
Try to click it. I wish it's that easy. You know, you have to really memorize the spaces on the violin because, as I said, it's fretless. It's just one string, and you have to put your finger on the specific note. If it's 1 milli away from the right note, then it will be off tune. So this is what I try to do. The beginning is to perfect my skills. Then what I really like doing is yoga, actually. Yoga makes me more calm, makes me more peaceful. And preparing myself mentally to go into that zone of, okay, this is now my time, it's my music, giving myself positive energy. As I said, it's all about how you talk to yourself.
It's all about, I mean, you know yourself. I mean, it's you. So you know how to connect with yourself and to find this ritual for your own self before you do any types, how to be focused on any performances.
So the goal of being a musician, it's not only a musician, but also understanding yourself. You can go through little areas in your mind and you can discover how creative you can be because you're already expressing that on your instrument. That implies on your daily life also. You start seeing life in a more creative way. In those little narrow streets, you can still visualize it. So, yeah.
That's really remarkable, Nancy, and thank you for that. And of course, unfortunately, we reached the end of our episode, which was really extraordinary.
Yes,
and
really.
thank you for that. Thank you for the journey that you gave us. But as I'm ending, can you give us one last small performance for us?
Yes, sure, why not?
That was really remarkable, and we would love to have you again, inshallah, after you achieve your milestones.
Inshallah.
And inshallah. And with that, our viewers, we come to an end. Hope you liked this episode. We will see you tomorrow, and goodbye for now.